Everybody, Monica here with Handmade Bay. Today we're going to talk about quilt cards and how to make them and the different variations that you can do. So what a quilt card is, it's just that if you think about fabric and if you sew, you know, it's putting pieces of fabric together and making a piece of art, really. So what we're going to do is do this with paper. So I'm going to show you some of the ideas that I have. And if you have a sewing machine, and if you don't, you still can get the same effect. And I want to show you how to do that. So here are some examples. Here's a card that I use scraps on. Now this is a perfect project to use up your scraps, all right? And there's all different examples of how to do that. So all those little pieces of paper, you know, that you save, we all have those pieces, right? That are teeny tiny. We say we're going to use those one day, right? All our little pieces. This is what you're going to bring them out for, okay? Your ripped pieces, everything. All right, so great way to use them. And those paper pads that you have that have the little pages with the little squares and the words, this is a great way to do them. So on this one, this is what I did. All right, just a regular piece of cardstock. For your base, I recommend using a heavy cardstock. And for your embellishments or your quilting, thin papers work really well with this. Okay, so here I have a sewing machine and I love to sew on my paper craft. So here I took a few of those squares and I just took my sewing machine. If you've never used your decorative stitches on your machine, this is a great way to learn, see how they look and use them. Okay, here I did the same thing. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can go online, look at different stitches, and you can go ahead and just take a marker and draw on your stitching. And you can do this throughout your whole card and just do it like that. So easy, right? You still can get the same effect. And another way that you could make stitching is if you have one of these tools. If you sew, you have these. So if you don't want to use your sewing machine. Another thing is if you have a sewing machine, use your dull needles. Save all your dull needles because this is what you want to use them for, not your good needles, okay? So here is a way that you can use them. You can take this and kind of emboss it. Okay, just press it down. You can put it in, roll it in your distressing ink or stamp pad, whatever you got. And you can go ahead and just roll it on. And look, looks just like you sewed it. Okay, so another way. And then if you look on this side, it'll show through too. And if you don't have the little wheel, you also could take the back of a paintbrush, lay it on something with a little soft bottom, and just press. And you can just make little dots that way with just the back of a paintbrush. Let's see if I can get you to see that. Okay. Let's see if I can get it to show. There we go. All right, so you see it right there? All right, so those are different ways. If you don't have a sewing machine, it's no problem. You can go ahead and get the sewing effect that way. Here's one I did with the rolling wheel and no ink. So you can get something that's very faint, but, you know, just a hint. And there's with the embossing that I did it. Okay, so that's that card. Now here's another idea. I took some mapping paper and again heavy cardstock here, and this is very thin paper on this paper pad that I had, so I really haven't used it for anything, but this is great for this type of project. And what I did some decorative stitching here. It looks like it reminded me of the map, the roads and stuff, so that's another way. And I left all of this here. I distressed some of it, but that's another way you could do it. Just tear and glue. And here, this is, you know, kind of like what you would think of if you saw a quilting card. Just took some strips, glued them all down, and then did some decorative stitching throughout. Okay, and here I left some of the string behind to give it another effect. And there's the other side. Now you can cover this or whatever you want to do. All right, now the final one, I'm going to show you a little video. It's a walkthrough. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough on it just so you can kind of see. This kind of reminds me of like a crazy quilt, and that's where you just take pieces of fabric, random pieces, and just sew them all together. And I really like this, and I think it has a great effect, and I did stitching on here. Now I'm going to show you a little video next from something I got from my swap partner, and made it into something new. Okay, here we go. So here's the way that I took some paper that I haven't used. This is from one of my ocean themed paper packs, and I've had this for a long time. So this is a great way to use it for this project because it's something you can just cover up with these papers. And these papers that I'm using are from a swap that I had gotten, a bunch of little butterflies and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this paper up with this collection of papers. And I'll be back and show you how it came out. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I gave you some ideas on how to make your quilt card. Remember, join our swapping club. It's lots of fun and you can get some great stuff from your partner where you can turn something they gave you into something new. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments, pictures would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.